Hello everyone, welcome to my goofy ass YouTube channel. I'm Rex the dog, and I want to talk a little bit about, I played this a few weeks ago, or a month ago, whatever it was when it came out. Silent Hill, The Short Message, which is it's a game that if you're following leakers, and you're following registering of, copyrights and stuff like that, and registering of video game ratings. It's the one we kind of knew was coming for a hot minute. I think we knew this was coming for like 2 years, and it was like just a question of when the hell are they going to drop this thing? And it finally came out. It was developed by some like Porthouse studio, I guess, who their kind of, thing of significance within the survival horror world is they did is it called Not a Hero? The Chris Redfield DLC for Resident Evil 7. You know, the one where he's got a really weird face that doesn't match his like roided out look that they kept going through 5, 6, and they kind of brought back for Village. But yeah, it's developed by those. They've got kind of, some Team Silent alumni, if you will. We've got the character design and the monster design, I should rather say, coming back. With the focal point of his design being this new like cherry blossom creature in this, which is really pretty cool. It freaked me out when I saw it, and it kind of also has this sort of frame ratey kind of like moving around, which I thought was really neat. So I thought that was kind of a highlight of the thing. You've also got the classic composer back, so there's really moments in this where stuff's just like, you've got that music playing and it's like, yeah man, this is Silent Hill. Like, so those two factors are really, really great. The fact that it's free, and unless you're some like weirdo following leaks like me and other people, it was this big like shadow drop surprise. So, the actual, the time it finally came out, when it was announced in this PlayStation Showcase, or whatever the hell they call it, it was a surprise that, like, oh, cool, it's here. Because it kind of, it wasn't really in my mind. I was kind of thinking it would show up in that Silent Hill transmission thing, where they laid out kind of the phases plan of Silent Hill. I thought it would kind of come with that. So I kind of left my mind, or maybe, like, this has been shelved. So when it finally did come out, that was like that was cool. That was a surprise, as I said, and I was like, oh, sick, got some Silent Hill to play. So that was really cool. A couple of hours, lasted longer than I thought. There's a few times where it brings up these, sort of like trigger warning, suicide things, and every time that came up, I thought like, oh, okay, that's the end. It was just like, oh, if this game freaked you out or whatever, or triggered you, go to this website so you don't unalive yourself, I guess. So there's a few times I thought it was ending. I was like, damn, that was short, but it was a couple hours. So kind of got some meat out of it, especially for what it was. With that being considered, with it being free and everything, and being this little surprise, and just kind of like a testing ground, I guess, for them to like mess around with Silent Hill again, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. If I did they did put a price tag on this, and let's say I dropped like €10, $10, whatever, on this, I would have been like, but for what it is, I thought it was pretty cool. If you look at the kind of, post-Team Silent offerings, you look at Silent Hill Origins and onwards. You look at the stuff that wasn't made by Team Silent, look at stuff that was handed over to the Europeans. Various European studios. This isn't like a crime, alright? I see some people out there that are like, oh man, this game's disgusting, this game's whatever, this game is like, it shits on the legacy of Silent Hill. I think that's nonsense, right? I think that's complete nonsense. I think this is pretty good. I think it's pretty serviceable. I do think it does kind of feel, yeah, sure, a little bit of like baby's first Silent Hill. A lot of things are like very on the nose. It doesn't really have like, you're not working stuff out. It's just like, hey, here's the themes. here's what's going on. This represents that. There's not a lot of subtlety to it, which you find in the best moments of the Team Silent games. I'm not saying they're like infallible. There's stuff in there that I think's like a hot mess. But I thought for what it was pretty good. You know, especially for it being free. It is not, you know, this isn't top tier thing, but for like, hey, I'm like, it's Silent Hill. I'm playing a little bit of Silent Hill. It's kind of fun, you know. It is essentially a walking simulator. Yeah, it is essentially a walking simulator. They could have, like, I know I don't really expect, like, all this, like, combat and all these different mechanics in a free little sort of, like, them testing and playing around with Silent Hill again. But a few more puzzles would have been cool. There was, like, one puzzle in it, and yeah, I was stupid. And I couldn't really do the puzzle of, like, look at the numbers in front of you. I was kind of zoned out and being an idiot. My friend was like, you know, she was like, oh, look, there's 3, and there's 4, and whatever. So that puzzle, okay, it did stun me. It did stun lock me for a little bit. But it was rubbish. You know what I mean? It was garbage. I'm hoping, you know, when the next... I'm interested in what's coming from Silent Hill. I mean, Silent Hill 2, I got thoughts on it. Maybe I'll talk about that sometime, the remake coming from Bloober Team, because I don't really think Bloober Team's all that hot. So I've got some kind of ideas on that. But whatever, Silent Hill 2 still exists. The Silent Hill Townfall, whatever it is, that's from a studio who made this little, I forget the name of it, but this like VHS-y kind of 80s horror anthology thing that I thought was really cool. So I'm interested in that, but like the next kind of true, you know, mainline Silent Hill game looks to be this Silent Hill F. And I would guess that this game does give me, you know, 2 hopes from, I guess 2 points of that new upcoming thing to be secure about, I guess, if that's even a sentence. The fact that the music and the monster design can do just like so much and be so powerful, that's like, okay, cool. I am slightly, I guess, more apprehensive about how subtle they're gonna be, because this game, you know, this short message, whatever, this playable teaser, if you will, this was not subtle. So I'm hoping, you know, a longer game, whatever, they can be subtle, they can, you know, weave those things in. I don't know. I guess my thoughts on this was, it was fine. If I got to throw a number on it, all things considered, maybe 6 out of 10. I don't know, factoring in, you know, what it is, it being free, that kind of boosts it up a bit. But I think it's a fun way to spend 2 hours. You know, it's better than a lot of movies. The music is sick, and that little monster is cool. And if you're a girl who gets bullied on Twitter, then maybe this will make you feel seen. Maybe Silent Hill, the short message, will make you be seen. But I don't know. I'll see you in the next video, which will be about something else. Whoops.